it feels so cold inside my heart tonight. Be my man is what she said. It's not just the wind that's moving around tonight, but quick and clean don't make it right.
Start of the day, Ant and I came back to where Ant got the 2 little bits and gave me a solid whipping last week. Got a lot of love from the fans as well.
Thank you. The apprentice is a very happy man.
Yeah, he was. So we've came back here for the simple reason there's gold here. We've proved it 2 weeks in a row. We know we're not going to get rich, but we want to try and get something in the canister, and then we'll spread our wings a little bit and go somewhere else, unless it starts to jump out of the ground.
Yeah.
We're off to a late start. It's near as damn at 11 o'clock. I had to work this morning, and Ant had to bloody play mahjong with the ambassador or whatever Ant does in his spare time. So we're going to start here. If you've just joined us, if this is the first time you've seen us, this particular mullock is a mullock where they crushed the stone down to a certain size, but they didn't have any way of treating the gold and running it across the tables, so they had to cut out their ore. So they've missed gold because they've had to judge what was worth cutting and what was worth crushing. So we're playing that card. Go back, if you're finding gold, why would you go somewhere else? I know when we first started out detecting, when gold was plentiful, after a while you'd say, oh, I don't like going there because the gold's too small. The gold's too small. Now,
if only we had that problem.
Yeah, now we're happy to if we get a couple of colours, we'll be well pleased with ourselves.
Yeah.
Good luck, mate.
Good luck, buddy.
May the best man win or me.
Let's get into it.
Good on you, Ant.
Good luck.
Good work.
Cheers. Hi, Glenn.
Well, Ant, we've got our first signal for the day. You can see where I've dug this little shelf along here. Got a signal in here. It sounded good because it was nice and small. I've taken a little bit more surface off. I'll let you listen to it. It's not as neat and complete as I thought it was before. I'd like it to come out, say, by now.
It's not blanking out though.
No, but I mean, it's a signal and I'm hoping to dig him, but
yeah.
I was hoping he'd just be a nice little round bit sitting up, you know.
Smaller, a bit smaller.
Oh, that's the end of that. But it just goes to show, we're looking for we're looking for gold. We detected up here and back and forth. We've got 2 over there and got 2 there. There's a signal that we've got simply by taking the surface off. So back on your heads, mate.
Yep.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Right, just working along the area that I've picked out. I mean, physically picked out.
Second signal.
That's what was in that hole, so that when you people are ringing it, texting saying what was in the hole, it was that.
Yeah,
it was
so
rubbish.
It was a bit of rubbish.
Another little signal. I like this one a bit better because straight away it's nice and sharp. So it's close to me, but it's not breaking down.
It's in the hand.
Yep, too right it is. On there, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
I think I can see it.
I'll be bugging.
What's that?
I can't see anything, mate. You have to keep going. That,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I know what that is, though. I know what that is.
Nice work, Glenn.
Settle down, Francis. There he is.
First hit for the day. Good work, buddy.
Yeah.
And it's been squashed.
Yeah, you've been hammered, been squashed, yeah.
Nice work.
There he is, mate.
Crystal clear.
And you can see how they would leave the stone because last week Anthony got I'm calling him Anthony now. last week Ant got a bit in the stone.
Yeah, yep.
And we were saying, oh, that's a nice bit of specimen, buddy, we'll keep that bit of specimen, that's a lovely bit of specimen. And Ant was only gently pouring water on it, he wasn't, out with a scrubbing brush.
No.
And then it rolled off, didn't it?
Yeah,
It was bloody
just
gone,
rolled
yeah.
straight off.
So you can see how when they're crushing them, they jump out. So that's one for starters anyhow, Ant.
Good job, mate. Well done.
We've got the canister today.
Good work. Thumbs up. Good
Thumbs
man.
up. Whoop.
Haven't swallowed it.
No, I did swallow one once. I was digging little signals and
Did you manage to retrieve it one day?
I let it roll. It wasn't that important. I dug a little bit and had it in my mouth.
Yeah.
And I went a little bit further and got another bit, and I was concentrating on digging it. And I thought, where'd that first bit go? I know where it went. But gold's supposed to be good for you. If you eat gold, it's supposed to be
That's what they have in the vodka.
a medicine. So
That's
yeah. Well,
Right, onwards.
gold is good for me. It's good for my soul.
Same.
Thumbs up, mate.
Good job.
Righto. This is Ant's area that he's been raking. He's going to detect it, so we thought we'd just show you that sometimes you can put in a heap of work and don't find any signals. We're hoping he does. I said to Ant, I'll detect you, and he said, oh, no, wait till I get something. But I'm looking for a spell, so I said, no, I insist.
Yeah, I'm catching my breath still.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
It is hard work. It's hard work if you're used to it, let alone not used to it. So we're having a bit of a dig and a detect, but when I was talking about swallowing that bit before, reminded me of the story about a half-mad bloke who used to swim in the toilet. One day he went completely around the bend. I left to pause there for Ant to laugh, but he's too busy worrying about his...
Concentrating, Glenn.
I know, mate. If you wonder why, I've been under instructions not to get the Bentley's number plate on in the video, so I've got to keep it on the half a bit. We're in Ant's car again today. We bloody... why are we in your car, Ant?
Well, just in case we get stuck out in the bush.
Oh, yeah.
It's still pretty wet, you know.
So this is a story of detecting that. It's anticipation and disappointment most of the time. It really is, isn't it? Like, when you're heading off, you're bloody...
That could be...
that might be my bloody
Yeah.
knee. Broke my leg once, and the woman came in and she started bloody drawing on me, a good one with a texture or a bad one, I can't remember which now. And there was two things about it. Lyndall took me into the hospital, and it was a Sunday morning, and I was bloody 45 or thereabouts, maybe 50, and the woman who's the surgeon said, "You men and your football." And Lyndall said, "Don't let her bloody operate on you. She's completely bloody mad if she thinks you're capable of playing football." And then she said, I said, "What are you drawing on my leg for?" And she said, "I'm gonna, don't want to put the pin and plate in the wrong one." I said, "None of that. I won't be having any of that." Yeah, she cracked the shits, and she said to her bloke, "Well, you plaster it." I said, "What would you do without that?" And she said, "I'll plaster it." And I said, "I'll get it plastered then." She said to this bloke, "You plaster it," and he pretty well said, "What, me?" As though he was sweeping the floors and just come past. And now he plastered it, and it took about 6 months to come good, but it come good. And now I can go detecting without a big bloody steel rod halfway down my leg.
No go, Glenn.
No go, Ed.
Board.
No go, Ant, I mean. Righto. Back to it.
That's good.
Righto, folks, that's just another chapter.
All right, Glenn.
Well, good news, Ant, without seeing it. Last week, no, 2 weeks ago, I got a little bit behind this tree.
Right there.
I've been working my way towards it, and then I jumped ahead of myself and dug out some dirt behind it and pulled it around the corner. And not a lot of dirt either, you know, 2 or 3 inches. But got a signal.
And you said, oh, it's so soft, you thought it was somebody else's hole, it just been dug in, but
Yeah, that's right.
look at that. Signal in there. Ooh.
It's pretty bloody close.
Yep. Not blanking out,
Yeah.
sounds good. In the
In
hand.
the hand. Good stuff. I'll get you out of the way first, mate. No.
Yeah, that's good.
We dug one before and chased it around, and it was a hot rock, but it wasn't anywhere near this noise. See anything, mate?
I can't, no. But it still sounds good. Is it in, yeah, in there? No? No? Not.
That one.
Got him?
Yeah.
Colour?
I reckon he is. I can feel him in my fingers. I can feel him in my toes.
Yes, it is. It is. I saw it too.
Yeah, there he is. There he is. God, I bloody
Nice.
thought he was a bit of rust for a second. There he is.
Good job, buddy.
He's almost identical to the other one that was in
It
there.
is, isn't it? That rough, really rough gold.
There he is.
Reefy.
That's what he looks like when he came out of the reef and got a very hard hit.
Yep. Very nice.
Good work. We were just discussing whether we were mad or not, so we'll keep at it,
I
mate.
think we'll keep at it, yeah. I've got a bit of catching up to do now.
Yeah.
The master's back in.
Yeah, that's all right.
Come-
Yeah, bloody-
all guns blazing. Bugger.
Nah. I think it was Pimmy that said I'd come back. So
Yep.
good on you, Pimmy.
Yep.
Oh, bloody,
Penny onto it, of course.
yeah. Of course, I won't go the early crow, bloody...
That's it, we've only just begun. Haven't even had smoke
Yeah.
yet. Good job, Glenn.
Oh, I just dropped the bloody thing. Seriously,
Doing my trick.
I knocked him out of my hand.
Oh gosh.
Right,
We got metal detectors.
we'll turn the camera off to save me the embarrassment.
I think we'll keep it rolling.
No! Get to the foot of the stairs. Bloody bastard. I don't want to go mad. Hopefully there's not too many signals here. That's my other bit. Just flicked him out of my fingers.
Oh, Glenn.
God doesn't pay his debts in money, so... I reckon that's got to be him.
There it is.
Oh, you got him?
Yep.
Yeah, because I was going to say we would have dug that signal
Yep.
before. So,
Safe and sound.
boys and girls that are playing along at home,
There we go.
when you're on top, no need to give the other bloke a kicking. Thumbs up, Ant, and I'm very relieved, Glenn Conroy.
Oh gosh.
Right, I'm out in the bush doing random interviews, and I met a man called Anthony who's detecting. Ant, and Ant, you look like an experienced prospector. How long have you been out here this morning?
We've been out here for about, what, 2 hours now?
2 hours, and how's it going? How many, I imagine one of the troubles would be you dig a lot of signals in a situation like this. Is that the case?
One would think. I haven't even had one signal yet. Not even one signal.
Remember last week, Ant came up out of the gully. He did a bit of raking where we'd got some the previous week. Landed 2 nice little bits of specimen. We talked about it during the week, and we said, yeah, we won't go anywhere else. We'll start out there. And there's plenty of rubbish signals, or there was, but not one signal.
Not for me.
Yeah.
You landed 2 bits of gold.
2 bits of gold
and one dirty signal.
And one deep signal,
So,
yeah.
You know, you've had 3 signals, 2 of gold, which is great.
I did notice
haven't
though,
had any.
5 minutes ago when I turned on my detector, you said, what's that noise? Have you had your detector on?
Now?
No, like when you've been detecting it, you haven't just been...
Yes, then the detector's definitely on.
Oh, I'm loving this. Loving it!
Yeah, I bet.
No,
It's
mate.
not over till it's over, Glenn.
No, mate, and we'll turn it around. Right, no, the reason we did this is simply to show you, sometimes you get a false impression when you're watching other people detecting and they're finding bits of gold that, why aren't I finding any, you know, but you're only seeing the highlight reel. You don't see
That's
them
right.
bloody drive 3 hours and drive 3 hours home or things like that. So don't lose hope.
That's it.
We're going to have a drink
I'm
and a
not
bit of it.
losing hope.
No, shit, no, neither am I, mate. We're going to have a snack in a minute,
Yeah.
and then we'll have another go here. And then we're going to wander around a little bit where we haven't dug and try and just get some cheap signals and hopefully land one like that. But the good news is, some bits of stone we've uncovered have been quite coarse, you know, as big as your bloody fist or as big as your head or whatever. So you could easily land one in that and turn your day around. So, Ant, let's do that, eh?
Let's do it.
Righto, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Good work. Righto, I went wandering off in the bush. Ant's kept his head down and stayed here. Righto, Ant, what's been happening, mate?
Well, I finally got my first signal for today. We'll see how we go. I called Glenn over. So we'll have a look.
Yeah.
See what comes up.
The day is almost too good today. It's bloody probably 14 to 15 degrees, and we've been toiling away with our picks and the rako and the shovel. And In fact, when we it was funny when we drove out here, we planned this big day of digging, which is gone a little bit pear-shaped, but we got out of the car and Anne said, "I'm sweating already." Hadn't even struck a blow, so yeah. So we'll see how we go. The signal, I've been chasing signals. I've got a bit of stuff up there, and I've noticed before. You hope they're amalgam and they're not lead and they're shiny. I think it's melted zinc. I think it's pieces of zinc that have melted because they're particularly shiny. But
don't go sticking that in your mouth, Glenn.
What's that, mate?
Don't go sticking that in your mouth.
Zinc?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think it'll hurt you, mate. Bloody, I don't know. Who knows? If you said to me, here, you can either have a bloody big feed of zinc or you can eat these bloody mushrooms of yours. I tell you, you give us zinc, will you, mate? And just to make it interesting, put a bit of mercury on it as well. Still there, fella?
Yep. Hopefully I'll see more.
Where we are, we sort of, you're happier if they're little sharp signals, little small sharp signals all the same. Because we've dug through a bit of overburden and got a little signal that's turned into a big signal and then it's turned into rubbish. So the old mate will keep toiling away here.
Yep.
We'll see how we go. Tell us about what's coming up on the holiday itinerary, Ant.
Well, booked our flights to Poland in August. So no gold detecting in August, but hopefully I'll be catching up with my mate Pavel.
Pavel, yeah. Pavel's the bloke that gave us our catchphrase Jebedali.
Yes, yes. He's geez, what's his YouTube thing? Aber z wykrywaczem na magnesie.
Oh yeah, look that up, people. Yeah, look that up straight away. Yeah, I'll be straight onto that. There was a few blokes picked up on me calling you Skull Murphy, a few of the older blokes obviously, and they started naming wrestlers that they like. One bloke said you look like Brute Bernard.
All these wrestlers I've never heard
Oh, of course not. Shit, no, they'd be bloody, they'd be compost now. We wouldn't have to worry about them. Oh, Mario Milano might be still going.
I've heard of Mario Milano.
Yeah, Mario Milano was Italian, and he would, at the end of the night, he would address his compatriots, his fellow countrymen in Italian, and we're going to do that today with you in Polish. You're going to bloody give a Polish address, and what else we need, everybody that's in the contest, we're still just short of 200 short of drawing to the 5,000 subscribers.
Close.
So if you've got a mate or a friend or someone that you can bully, better if you can bully them. So we want you to subscribe to
click that subscribe.
Yeah, just all you have to do is click on Victorian Gold Hunters and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Because if we can bowl that 200 over, then it's quicker that you're sitting up with your gold box or your nugget or your stumpy pick. So I was talking to a bloke this morning, he was saying it's dragging on a bit, so I didn't know that it was.
Jesus!
Yeah, I know!
How impatient!
Yeah, that's what I said, I'll tell you what, I'll refund your money. So it's not dragging on a bit, but if you want to bring it forward, everybody knows someone that's on YouTube or wants to get on YouTube. Get them on and say, yeah, well, we'll, and get them to comment if they like on the previous video. And previous video it'll be once you watch this one.
Yeah.
Oh, which reminds me, I met a bloke out the bush called Shane Fowler. Shane was camping in the bush and I stopped for a yarn. Recognised me, which was great. I kept pushing my head into his car window until eventually he recognised me. And he said he liked our vids, and he was camped out of the bush detecting and just camping. And he was by himself, and it was a bloody cold night last night. I take my hat off to him being out in the bush.
Yeah, I didn't probably camp.
And then another bloke that I said I'd mentioned, when I was going over to Josie's, back home to Josie's place, I was going too fast and I had to go around a 90-degree turn to get onto another road, I was on the tar, but I had to turn onto a gravel dirt road. Now, no excuse, your officer, I was going too fast. Went around the turn, realised I was going too fast, and you know how people say, steer into the skid, steer out of the skid, don't brake and all that. Well, I was going too fast, and the next minute I was off the road on the grass. That's all I noticed. So, bloody lucky I didn't put that door up against a tree. There was trees there. So I thought, I'm in a bad way bloody now. I can dig myself out, that'll take a couple of hours. Had a tow rope but no winch or anything. That's our signal. And now, in the distance I saw this bloke coming with giant bloody LED headlights, not the light band, you know, not big headlights. So I skipped up through the trees and bloody flagged him down, and he was a bit reluctant when a sort of a bloody Ben gun lurched out of the bushes and got out in the middle of the road, wouldn't let him pass. So he put his electric window down a slit and said, "What's up, mate?" And I said, "I'm bloody stuck back there in the bush. How about towing me out?" I said, "My name's Glenn Conroy." I thought that might help in some way. He said, "I'm Matty Conroy." So as it turned out, Matty's related to me, and I know him well. I knew his father very well. His father worked with us and lived with us for probably 4 or 5 years. So
Oh god.
Matty winched me out, just drove up. He's had a brand new bloody Toyota or something like that. Winched me out. 7 minutes after I ran off the road, I was back on the road heading for home. So thanks very much, Matty. I hope you see this.
Save the day.
Yeah, well, I know you're not. You're more of a hunter than a detectorist, but thanks very much.
Well, Glenn, this has obviously turned into a rubbish signal.
Yes, mate.
So I think we kill the film and
have our lunch, eh?
Glenn.
And I was encouraging Ant before to swear in Polish, and now he's worried that his mother-in-law will be watching. So your mother-in-law's first name was?
Aldona.
Aldona. Aldona, you were supposed to meet me when you came out to Australia. Now I must apologise. I led Anthony astray. He normally doesn't swear. I just thought, as you do when you're little, it'd impress someone if you swore. So, so Aldona, don't blame your son-in-law if he swears.
Look at that.
Right,
Glenn sniffed another nice signal out.
We haven't filmed too much today, but Ant stayed where we got our gold last week, and oh, that's a good sign, I reckon.
Very good sign.
That's how I can find him again. I've moved away chasing signals. Got an easy one here, but that wasn't him. And there is he.
Yep. Yeah.
That's actually different if you're digging gold in Western Australia. You want to go deep and get a big signal. But for us in this situation, the moment they start to get deep or the moment they get too big, we lose interest. We want them to come out.
Just like that.
Just like that, yep.
And it was heavy enough to fall through all that soil.
Yeah. God, I was about to punt him in, but I've gone off him a little bit now.
I think it was just a booster. I'm still confident.
I hope so, Ant.
This could be number 3. You could be putting me right to shame, Glenn.
I hope it is.
Come back with a bang. No, it's on the coil.
On there. No, bad news, I reckon, Ant.
Oh no! Bugger. What is it?
I think it's only rust, even though it felt good in my mouth, yeah.
Oh, bugger.
Only a bit of rust in it. Yep.
No colour.
Actually felt, when I put it in my mouth, it felt alright. I thought, oh yeah. Right, back to the drawing board, mate.
Yep.
And we stopped here because I read a story the other night and I wanted to show you and show the people at home. See this inconspicuous little water race here? It leads into a dam further down. And I'll take you down now. I just want to show you this race. It's not a huge race by any means.
No.
But it carried the water for this dam below us. Righto, mate, we'll go down and have a look at this dam.
All right.
Now that water race I showed you led into a big dam at the head of the gully. And we're standing in that dam now. Here's the dam wall, and it's a fair height, all the way up there, great big wall. All the ground's been taken out and around the corner, and they had an overflow. They built an overflow as you do, but one thing happened that buggered these blokes up. On a Saturday afternoon, they knocked off as they normally do, and they headed into town. And if you've ever left the tap on at home, you'll know what might have happened next. They didn't switch the water race off, so the water was coming into the dam. They weren't too worried about it. It was probably 2 foot from the top, and they had an overflow. But then we had a huge rainstorm. At the time, they had a huge rainstorm, and the water, the pipe was blocked out, the outlet pipe was blocked, and the water rose over the wall. And they were still all right because it was going out the overflow and going out the wall. But the overflow got full of leaves and sticks, blocked the overflow, so it started to flow just over the wall. And this is what happened. This is what happened to our carefully constructed dam. See how thick the dam is? It didn't blow out through the bottom. The water kept going over the top and washed it from the other side. And this side was more solid than the other side. The other side was a bit loose because it didn't have any force of water on it. But when the water went over the top, our lads had gone into town, got on the grog and stayed in town. So all Saturday it filled, it rained and rained, the outlet was blocked, kept raining all Sunday. By the time they got back Sunday, about an hour before they got blocked, the blokes that were down below them said the huge flood came down, you could have practically surfed on it, and it broke through. And what happened, as I said, the water went over the top and washed it from the other side. So put a little rivet in it, put a rivulet in it, put a little gully in it, put a little gutter in it, eventually started to rip it out, and once it started to rip, all of a sudden the dam let go. So fortunately for our men, they were at the end of their, practically at the end of cleaning out the gully. That's what they were doing in the town. They were having a spree to celebrate the gold. So this dam has stood there ever since. It makes the mining notes how that the dam broke down and why it broke down. So if you're building a dam and you're getting on the grog, or if you're going like me and think, I'll fill the bath and then while I'm doing that, I'll just watch one episode of the Flintstones, make sure you bloody go back and check. So that's what happened to these blokes, Ant. We'll go down and see why they had such a big dam at the head of this gully.
Yeah, hopefully they left a bit of gold for us.
Thumbs up, mate. Yeah.
Thumbs up. Good man. Let's do it.
Ant and I found what we were looking for. Where that big dam was, we knew that they'd worked in the gully below us, and we knew they were here for some time. So we came down one on either side of the gully until we found this. Quite a substantial hut. It's had a big chimney. There's the stone that's fallen off the chimney, so it's been more than a fireplace. It's been a properly constructed stone chimney.
Huge.
So over here, while Ant was coming from his side of the gully to my side, I detected a signal, but I haven't dug it because it's non-ferrous and I want everyone to see what it was if it's anything. So that's where it is, that's what it is. Any luck at all will be a button. Alrighty then. Bit similar to last week, there's two signals into one hole. This one sounds alright though, don't you reckon, mate?
It does, yeah. You got them both.
Look at that.
Either hand.
I think they're
Give me one.
I think they're both non-ferrous.
Yep.
So the first one is a half sovereign.
Another button spill.
Bit of bloody lead, is he? That's a bad sign because.
There's a bad sign. Yep.
Right, mate.
Onwards.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Oh, must have dropped out. That one's blanking here. There you are, Ant. We'll have a hunt around here.
Yep.
See if we can't find a decent relic.
Sounds good.
Right on, mate.
Let's do it, buddy.
Good luck.
You too. There you go, Glenn.
Well, I found a button, as we do, but the good part about it is he's got a bit of writing around him so we can research him. Right next to him is another what I assume is a button. But the good part about that is, we're on a hut.
I thought you were going to say you could fix your shirt.
Well, I could fix my shirt, or as Mark from Subtropic Fruits said, I can sew them to my hat and be one of the pearly kings. The good thing about that is, if they're easy brass or copper button targets, brass buttons, then it hasn't been overly detected by relic hunters, has it? Like, you know, I just walked down there, there's one there, almost certainly one here.
So the ever-elusive sovereign is still in grasp.
Yeah, well, this one might be the sovereign. If you do think they are the sovereign, don't bring your pick down on top of them. Get over behind them and flip them out that way.
That's it.
Right, Ant, where's our sovereign? But I'm not disappointed there's a button, because yeah, there he is. That's the mate to the other one. Same deal, bit of writing on him around there. But if these are here, genuine relics of their time, there might be something better here.
That's it.
So what are you doing over here, Ant?
Filming you. No, I've got to get into it.
Good
Got
on you,
to
mate.
get something to show for myself.
Rightio, let's hope so, eh?
Let's do it.
Thumbs up, mate.
Good man.
Rightio, mate.
Well, we're still on the relics. Got myself a little signal here. Right next to these stones here, which look like another smaller hut. So might have been their first hut, and they did pretty well here, and before they built their bigger hut. So it's just over there. But
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty likely too, mate. I'd say, I mean, you're not going to build that stone chimney in, the first night. Bloody a week's work there. So, yeah, I'd say they've had the fireplace and the stones here, the fireplace and the tent, canvas tent, and then when they've got established and decided they were staying, and they knew what winter would be like.
yeah.
Imagine
their first winter here.
Oh yeah.
They would have been shocked. They probably thought, oh, Australia, it's going to be hot.
Jeez, I get cold in bed at times, so sleeping outside with just the saplings and clay to keep the wind out.
Right, zoom in hand.
Mate. Yeah, it's a good start. I like it when you. That little sort of brown fella, is it? What is he?
Ross nugget.
Bloody bastard. It must have been because he was straight, he gave
Might
a
be a
rude
bit of
signal.
Copper. Yeah, no, it's, I don't know what it is actually, but that's what it is.
Look at that, the camera work. Right, mate, wasn't what we hoped.
No, well,
Never mind.
on to the next one.
Right, my old mate's checked his dirt and he found out. I thought his signal dropped away a bit.
Hoping this was the actual signal that we're after.
Yeah, I hope that this was the one that got us interested, or got you interested. It did sound better in the ground, a lot better than that piece of steel should have. Yeah, it sounded bigger
better.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought at the time that something had gone a bit wrong.
No, we'll see. It's not counting my chickens.
Don't count your buttons until they're plucked.
That's right. Well, I can't really see anything in here.
What's that big round one? Oh no, you're right.
Yep, that's what it is.
Anything? Used to be a button.
Don't think so.
Steel, not steel though, it's brass something, is it? It looks a bit greeny through the camera at least. Righto, mate. It's non-ferrous, I reckon.
Yep.
Righto. I think I'm winning the Relic Challenge and the gold at the moment.
Yes, you are.
Ant and I have stopped for the last time for the day, and the sun's going down, and it's bloody 3:30. And we've struggled a bit. We've got 2 little bits off the mullock, and then
In quick time too.
in quick time,
And
as
then-
we seem to do.
Yeah, and then nothing.
We've been to a few places, and this is our last spot for the day. We drove in, and it was an effort to get in here. The only thing going for it is it's hard to get in here, so perhaps there haven't been a lot of blokes in here. And so we're going to have a snack, and I'll just show you a little bit of bush tucker. If you have a look around,
See what you can come up with. Oh, legend. Best bush tucker go around.
yeah. So Ant's
Usually
cooked,
found under the gum trees.
yeah, Ant's cooked us up some toasties. Different ones ask about bush tucker, and I've racked my brains, but geez, it's not too much you can bloody, you know, that you live on and just find a snack, you know. So best to bring it with you. Righto, folks.
Well, we just finished our toasties and got a bit of energy, heading to our last spot for the day. And we're just walking through the bush, and we noticed some stones around, and we're just saying, oh, you know, it looks like there could have been a hut here, but there's lots of stones. And then lo and behold, we see this thing. This is definitely a hut site. An old fireplace.
It's really good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Work of art.
It's been made with small stone, but it's been packed with clay, and then it's been domed.
Yeah.
You know, so it's deeper, and then it comes out like that. So
Beautiful.
So they've gone in. Surprisingly, the bloke that's built it, he's had something in mind, but he's only used small stones. You know, he hasn't really gone. There's great big ones standing around, but he hasn't tried to do that. He's just used the small ones, and he's packed it up with the clay. And then over here is a little bit of the end of a long tom. Remember I told you how the last part of that long tom was a steel plate that the water ran over it, and the small gold that went into it. Well, that's what that is. That's been made, handmade, but that's been made to let the water travel over it, going that way, and then all these holes were catchment holes. All the wash went out, and there was another box underneath that'd sit up in the end of the box, and then there was another box running the other way to catch all the water. So the bigger stones would travel over the top. Those little holes that you can see where my fingers are, don't be fooled and think they're huge holes. They're not as big as they appear on the phone. Righto, I can hear Ant's got his bloody detector on already, so we'll make a start. Ant's got his first relic. Oh, trying to. Righto, mate, I'll go have a crack too. Righto, over and out. Ant's sticking out a signal here. We thought it was something. It started to shut down.
Like that.
So we'll just see what we've got. We're on the edge of that little hut. I want to show it to you again because I'm quite impressed by it. Ant and I have been talking about it, and we've got a theory. I want to run it by you and see what you think. So when Ant rounds up this signal,
Nail.
a nail,
One of those funny nails that
holding 2 boards together, wasn't it? Like turned
I
over.
can't remember.
Right. Now this hut here, well, for one thing, it was a little snug hut. It's a little bit harder to see. You can see where it's been dug in here. You can see the ground's lower here, and you can see that the ground runs up that way and over there. So it's about, I'd say it's probably 12 foot long. This is the doorway. This is where he was coming in along the side of the chimney. So he's in here, and there's a couple of things about it. I think it was one man, and I think it was one man. I'd say Swiss nationality, because the way it's been built was with this natural curve in it. That's to keep the rain, it's to draw the smoke, but to keep the rain going straight down the chimney. So the smoke draws out, but it's got a sort of a top on it, a natural roof on it. And the other thing we think is one man, and we think it might have been one old man, is there was plenty of opportunity to pick up big stones. They're all small stones. And Ant and I are a bit inclined to believe he was an older man or a feeble man. And he's known what he's wanted to do, and he's known how to do it. But he's made his chimney completely out of small stone. You might be 70 or more. you're not capable or you don't want to lift those big ones up. So you gather up all these small ones. You know your trade because you've done it in your own country, and you build this little chimney. That's about the height of it. It's about 6 foot high with a curve on the top. Nice little dome in the centre. It's something worth protecting, really. It's really good. So we won't bugger eyes around with it. We'll just pick up that sovereign and keep rolling. Righto, Ant. Keep at it, mate. Now, one thing that I've never found when I've been out in the bush, and I've thought about a lot, and often I suppose they don't exist, is when a bloke or blokes are living in the bush, where they're going to the toilet. And it interests me purely from a physical sense, because obviously you've got 4 of you and you can't say, oh yeah, don't go over there, I had a shit over there, or don't go over there. So this bloke that lived up above us, the bloke that we were assuming is old, I reckon this is where he made his toilet. I reckon he had a little frame here to sit on. And the reason I do is, we're in the middle of the bush, and this green grass caught my eye. See the green grass? That's the only place it's grown. If you're everywhere else, it's leaves and sticks. There's no patches of green grass like that. And the dirt is nice and rich and black. And I'd say he's had a hole there, dug a hole there, or had a little test hole there, had a board across. When the time came, that's where he sat up. When I was digging for bottles, and in America they do it a lot, they call it dunny diving. They go to the house, and then they go down the back and look for where the toilet was, the outhouse was. Yeah, that's where they used to put all the bottles. Well, old blokes used to get in the toilet sitting up. I had to stop myself from saying shit house then. And they'd knock back half a bottle of whiskey, and then when they were finished with it, or a half bottle of whiskey, they'd drop it in the long drop. They'd drop it underneath their bum. Jeez. So the Americans would go look for a patch of green grass out the back, dig it out. Like obviously it's decomposed, it's just natural dirt now. And even our mate, Coffee Bush Kid, he's working on something like that at the moment. He said he was getting a few coins. So this is the first time, and call me crazy, but I'm a little bit excited. This is the first time that I've found where the miners have actually had their toilet. Good man, good man. Nice one. I want to give it 2 thumbs up, but a thumbs up, Ant.
The miner's done it, there you go.
Right, it'd be fair to say Ant and I have had a pretty slow day. We've had a fair bit of fun, and I just said to Ant when we got back to the ute, you reckon you can get a video out of that? And he said, oh, hell yeah, no worries at all. So let's hope he can, and hope we've made it interesting. When we go out, we try and find things that might interest other people as well as interest ourselves. So we show you things that we've seen. But as I said, it was a pretty tough day today. Now, all my treasure is in here, and it's pretty slim.
Oh, it's not that slim.
A couple of buttons, a little tiny rivet. That's lead. That's a little brass tack. That was my last holdout. I thought when that wasn't gold that I'm in strife. Yeah, 2 bits of gold, 2 bits of weighable gold, which is something. Ant, tell me about your day, mate.
Well, I got that to contribute to the rallies.
The end of a knife.
The end of a pocket knife.
But we did see a great hut.
Yep.
And I got strangely excited. I've got to be careful how I word this. But I got strangely excited when I saw where an old man had lived and gone to the toilet. Now,
Ren was far more excited than I was. I just thought it was a patch of grass.
Yeah. No, but it's always that the social side of it. You know, we think, oh, they're miners and they were living here and they were living there. But it's interesting to me, at least, their day-to-day routine. You know, the cooking the meals, the washing, the mending the clothes, and all that sort of thing. They weren't just mining, going to bed, mining, going to bed. You know, they were living their lives, and they were no different from Ant and I.
Yeah.
So, that's my treasures for what they are.
Nice.
Right, our Ant, fire the scales up.
The scales on. Almost ready to rock and roll.
Right.
Yep.
This is the first one I found, a little flat one on top of where the other flat ones were.
0.35? 37.
Well, that's a good result.
Yep.
Sometimes when I watch our own videos, I find myself saying the same things all the time. But that is a good result because it looked as though it was only small. This is the second one It
reckon that's going to be bigger or smaller? Wait, wait.
I reckon bigger. Don't you reckon bigger? I reckon he'd have to be bigger.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to go half a grand, that one.
I'll go for 0.42.
0.46.
So, all up.
So we were pretty much exact. 0.83.
0.83. Well, I was dragging my toes and telling the ant to get rid of all the film and just let on we didn't go out. So we've had worse days. We've been further for less.
Yep.
I think because we got so many relics last week, our relics are pretty down. That button is the steel button. He's not brass like these ones. He's a steel one. These two are a pair, and they've got writing around the side of it.
They were out of pretty much the same hole, weren't they?
Yeah. Dirtfish Miss rose to the occasion and told us about one of our other buttons, E. Moses and Co.
Yep.
She said she had a matching one in her collection. Good on you for that. And that's about it, mate.
You wanted to mention...
Oh, I did indeed. Margaret Smith.
Yep.
Margaret Smith wrote a very nice comment about you and I and how we get on so well at the bush.
Cheers, Margaret.
How she watches with her son. And then Helen Bennett was another lady who wrote a very nice comment. Good on you, Helen.
Cheers, Helen.
We're very thankful for the comments. Now, this is one thing that we've got to do. Between the lot of us, we've got to get another 200 roughly subscribers, a bit less. And what we're going to do is, everyone that has got a mate, and if you haven't got any mates, well, just don't worry. But if you've got a mate, try and make them bloody subscribe. It costs you nothing.
That's it.
Especially, I know a lot of blokes that watch, a lot of people that watch are old codgers like me, and their buddies aren't on the internet and aren't watching YouTube and they're not interested in metal detecting. But some of you young blokes, there'll be 5 or 6 of you that should be watching. Get on Facebook. Get on Facebook. I'm all over it.
You're all over it, Glenn. You know what it is.
Get on Twitface and bloody and get your mates to watch it.
But make sure they click on the YouTube channel.
The YouTube channel.
We're not on Facebook or Twitter.
And get them to subscribe so we can draw that bloody raffle. Our raffle is great.
Yep.
Our prizes
Coming
are great. Sharon's Gold Box is fantastic. Stumpy, Dan of Stumpy Picks, fantastic.
Yep.
Our little nugget is great, put in by Ant and I. So get on there. If you want to see it drawn, make sure your bloody mates subscribe, or they don't have to be your mates. If you, like I said earlier, if you're capable of bullying someone, bloody bully them. So we can get our subscribers up.
That's it.
Because we've got
almost there.
A long-term plan of conquering the world. Oh, and if you're bloody a bloke wanted us to mention him. I think his name was John Dobson. Blucky Boys, they're Poms. Him and his mate watch.
Yeah, Mr. John Dobson, I think his name's Mark, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Because I was calling him Mr. John, and then he said, "Oh, I'm pretty sure it's Mark."
Oh, right. Well, whatever. You Poms, you bloody get your asses into gear and get some of yours. Don't worry about being soccer hooligans day and night. Get out and get on the internet and get some of these blokes to watch.
Cheers.
And whatever country you're in, you know, we might have, I don't know, how many people from America watch us? 20?
A bit more than 20.
Yeah, but
most of our followings are
what have they got? They got bloody 340 million or
yeah,
something Americans. So, you know, get busy and start watching this.
Well,
And the other countries
15%
too.
in America.
Yeah, so all the countries, get your mates in and get them involved so we can get our subscribers up and we can have this done.
That's it.
Righto, Ant, 2 bits of gold. I think you better have them and put them in your gold box when Sharon, you get your gold box off Sharon.
Oh, thanks, Glenn.
The relics for what they're worth. You can take them home as well, mate.
Oh, legend.
You've been a good cook. I bought Andy in a track and fair dinkum, it bloody. It was
we clicked it into 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, it was a wild track, and then he wouldn't believe me that I'd been in here in my car.
No.
But I had.
Gosh.
I've also been towed out in my
Towed out,
car.
exactly.
Right,
Right.
next week.
Thanks,
We
mate.
had a good time. We've got 2 bits of gold.
Always a pleasure.
Oh, great fun, Ant.
Thank you, sir.
Righto,
See you
folks.
next time.
Next week.
Cheers, mate. Bye.